Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. And some of you just saw me, because we're doing it live, but also, if this is up on YouTube, then you can watch it just the second that you've finished my playthrough of the Blackwell Legacy, which we had some fun and some thoughts about, and we definitely got the bad end. If I had set a save file anywhere near the end of that game, I might try to see what the other one's like. But I feel like I can honestly guess, and as discussed then, I feel like it's probably roughly as unsatisfying as the extremely bad ending. But nevertheless, after having some questionable thoughts about ultimately what actually, well, while I'm talking, can we change the game to Blackwell Unbound? And I'm gonna change the name of the stream, but not the subtitle I gave it. I said we're doing it live. I should have just left the typo. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the first one is called the Blackwell Legacy. The second one is just called Blackwell Unbound. I think from here on out, they all might just be Blackwell blank instead of just the Blackwell blank. Not like a major detail, but like an arbitrary distinction. So yeah, just to summarize, the first one tells the story of Rosangela, which is a name I continue to hate, Blackwell, whose aunt passes away after being hospitalized for a mental illness, and shortly after that happens, her niece Rosangela experiences some severe headaches and some weird life trauma, and suddenly a ghost appears in her life, and he's all like, hey, I guess for the rest of eternity you have a ghost living within 30 feet of you, and you have to, like, solve ghost mysteries to help people pass on, or maybe just get eaten by the devil or something. Don't think too hard about it. Blackwell Unbound is the second game in the series, and while I had some familiarity with the first one, there were a lot of differences from my recollections of it. And I know genuinely nothing about this game other than what happens when you boot it up, because I tried to get the audio to balance, but as we established while playing that game, audio balance in these... I want to say this one came out in 2008. I'm not 100% sure of that. But like, yeah, these games from like the aughts, that they're not state of the art compared to what we're used to now. And even now, audio mixing is like an industry-wide problem. So, you know, a little rough around the edges. So we're going to be probably doing some mix there live. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's more or less everything I have to say. Like, that game ends with us sort of solving a ghost mystery and sending a couple ghosts on to the other side. Maybe not like super amicably or whatever. You can watch the VOD. But yeah, I don't really like 100% know what happens at all from here. And by not 100%, I mean definitely 0%. So let's find out together when we go over to... Hang on. Give it a second. Give it... Oh, no, wait. I have to do... Hold on. I thought I moved that. Well, it's over there. That's obviously not great. Oh, I didn't lock it, which is half the battle. Great. Now it's over there. 4x3. It's your favorite aspect ratio. Thanks, 2008. Blackwell Unbound. I've told you basically everything I know about it. Second game in the series. The first one is that, and then check this out. Yeah, in-game instructions. I hope that this game has proper point and click, but I don't think it does. It has like the same like hint box to start up the game. It makes me think that our inventory is an illusion.
Infinity. I've been told it's beautiful, but I don't think it's anything special. But when you live like me, most things become quite ordinary. Life, death, tormented souls, it's all the same.
I'm not sure F2 is doing anything.
Sometimes I wonder if anything will ever surprise me again. Sometimes I wonder if I even care.
What? Anti-games. I'm quite certain that F2 isn't doing anything. Give me a second. Yeah, I have this set like really low. Just obviously it defaults to 100. When setting this up initially, I had it at, you know, like 100% volume, and it was much too loud. So I took it down and kept taking it down and put it at like 23% volume of its starting, and that's where we're at now. This is 23% of the max volume when starting. So like nearly 5 times this loud is what the game defaults to. New York City, 1973. Well, that explains something.
Oh, hey, you know I don't like that. What's your beef anyway?
I am not talking to you.
I have neither squawks nor beefs.
So what's next on the list?
What's next? The balcony.
Why, gonna throw yourself over and join me?
No, I'm having a cigarette.
Great, you want a cigarette. What am I supposed to do?
You can do whatever the hell you like.
It's a really interesting choice to me, if I may.
Then I can get on with this.
Tutorial, walking, great start. It's a really interesting choice. This is actually really clever and worthy of praise, despite the fact that I mostly still don't have great things to say. So this game clearly is the prequel of sorts, because now we're in 1973, and I believe the last one was meant to be set in the present, which would be the early 2000s. This is, hang on, the 70s would put it at the grandmother, right? Because that's when all the letters were dated. And then I guess the 80s or the 90s were when the aunt got put away. I forget exactly how long. It's supposed to be like 25 years, right? It should be 80? I don't know. That math seems a little wrong, but I think that's about right. I think she was like put in the mental hospital in the early 80s, passed in like 2006, and the letters where they were talking about the mom needing to be hospitalized, aka the grandmother of our previous protagonist, those were all in like the early 70s. So the fact that we set this in, like, that was 70, what year was that, 79? I still think that's supposed to be the grandmother relative to the family tree. But what I think is really interesting is that last game was like relatively modern for its time in terms of the presentation, with like the portrait next to the dialogue and things like that. And when we step back in time, we went like more like retro pixel graphics and like got rid of the portraits entirely. And it's like, oh, I get it. We're using the convention of the video games to demonstrate that we've gone back in time. Now, it is an interesting choice considering that I wouldn't say graphics were like a selling point of the first game, but it's like one of the few things that didn't have like overt problems. Walking, click. I suppose it says smoking in a kid's game is scandalous. I have no idea what these games are rated, incidentally. The last one talked about suicide pretty extensively, so I'm gonna guess at least teen. But yeah, it is interesting that it starts with her in like her own version of the Gateway to the Afterlife smoking. I'm like, is that even allowed? The deacon couldn't drink, he just had a symbolic flask.
Absolutely not. Right now, nothing exists except for me and this cigarette.
Lauren isn't going anywhere right now. Maybe we'll have better luck with Joey. Press tab to switch characters. Oh god, it's beyond 2 souls. Good, now we're controlling Joey. Is it? You can also switch between characters by pressing J or L. I mean, I get it, but is that, you really want to stick with those as your hotkeys? You know, classic jiggle controls? Walk Joey over to Lord and left click to talk to her. Let me instead turn on a radio cassette.
I can't turn on the radio. What's the point of that? I can't wear the things.
I do have to say it's also at least a little unfortunate, in my opinion, that, like... I mean, all the voice acting was a little rough in the first game, but, like, it's an indie game. They may have been, like, friends of the developer or whatever. I'm not going to try to be too harsh about that, but, like... I generally thought Rosa was one of the stronger voice reads. And not only have we replaced her with Lauren, who's... I mean, we haven't been with her very long, but, like... One thing that stands out right away is the quality of her line recordings is rougher. It's closer to what Joey's was in the first game, where he was, like, blowing out the mic. I mean, I appreciate the mention, Demolition, but it's J-I-K-L. You know, you got your Wazda, but you also got the J-I-K-L. I'll just talk to her.
What?
Roundabout
You
insult.
done moping? Or do you want to grind your teeth some more?
Christ, Joey, can't you just leave it for 1 minute?
Can I do music mixing now? I honestly can't tell if that's making a difference. I don't think this shortcut works anymore, Demolition. I don't know if you can find more sorcery, but I don't think F2 does anything anymore. Direct question, direct insults. I mean, if we're playing as Joe... Oh, you know what? That is a great... No, wait. Well, first off, I can't access options here. Secondly, I tested this. I'm pretty sure that the options menu is virtually identical to the first game, meaning that it provides nothing. But I'll double check when we get out of the dialogue tree. Direct question.
So mad.
You honestly don't know.
I have no idea.
Typical. If you don't know, I'm sure as hell not going to tell you.
Healthy relationship. Well, I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? Exactly.
Dang it.
Take another drag of that cigarette, darling. You get real ugly when you stop smoking.
Oh? Is that right?
Well,
Ugly, am I?
take it easy, dear. It was just a little joke.
A joke. Yeah. I'm a riot. Like today, when those pipes burst.
Oh. Wait, is that what's got you in such a guff?
I got soaked, and you just laughed.
What does tell the truth mean?
Well, it was funny.
It was cold and wet and slimy. It wasn't funny.
You should have seen the look on your face. The way you jumped up and down and ran in circles, squealing.
Still wasn't funny.
If you say so.
I can definitely understand how these people ended up getting institutionalized after spending their entire life with this guy nearby at all
Let's
times.
get on with this.
There's a few things we haven't checked, right?
Yes, I've got the list right here.
Well, let's check it. Every other case today has been a false alarm. Maybe this will be an easy night.
You've had multiple cases in one day? It seems unlikely. Looking at objects. To look at objects or characters, simply right-click them, switch back to Lauren, and look at her case list. Wait, does he have an inventory? He technically does. Options. Yeah, it's presented slightly differently, but this is more or less the same set of options from the other game, meaning no slider for volume at all. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't, like, mute music and keep, like, dialogue audio. Just in case everything breaks.
Ugh. Every one of these leads has been a dead end. Just 2 more to go, and we can call it a night.
It genuinely seems unhinged to me that we would expect to do 5 ghost cases in a single day. Only in a video game. All the time? How did Grandma make Auntie Mom? Well, I mean... So... They were not very clear about how Lauren, the grandmother, ended up with Joey, the spirit, haunting her in the first place. It's just kind of accepted within the information given to us in the first game that she was fine up until a point when she was, like, probably in, like, her late 40s or 50s, and then suddenly had a ghost and everyone interpreted her talking to a person who wasn't there as dementia. And we're led to believe that that's probably when Joey appeared. And then from that point forward, it's like when the previous person tethered to the ghost dies, then he moves on to the next person in line. So, like, everyone's been... Now, it's gonna get tricky with Rosa in the quote-unquote present, because she doesn't have any offspring. So either when she dies, Joey will cease to exist or be forced into the afterlife, or there's gonna be some really uncomfortable period of time when she conceives a child with Joey, like, floating outside her door or whatever. Strange music heard on Roosevelt Island Promenade, and construction halted on 53rd Street due to Lizar accidents.
This one looks promising. Residents have reported strange music on the promenade late at night. Nobody knows where it comes from. A development corporation has halted construction after a series of accidents. Probably nothing, but worth checking out. I'm not ready for a nap. I guess I could take this along. Got it. I've already got a pack. Should last me till the end of the day. It doesn't need to be cleaned out.
She has multiple ashtrays. That's... I mean, it was a different time, but boy.
I hardly use this one. No point in cleaning it up.
You want to do the wild monkey dance with a ghost in tow? Quick, someone submit that to r/brand new sentence.
Damn! Radio signal can't get through. Could you move away a bit, Joey?
Hey, we got stuff to do first. I'll let you listen to music later.
Fine.
Does Joe have a mandatory union break? I don't know. The last game definitely implied that there was like a doorman's union that I'm skeptical exists in New York City at any time frame. I think they more or less said that he has to stay within 30 feet of his host at all times, which isn't all that much distance, to be honest with you.
Last time I counted, I had around $60 in here. I'll save it for when I really need it. It's summer and it hasn't rained for weeks. I don't need to wear my boots. I don't need to wear my coat. It's summer.
I'm counting at least 5 ashtrays. That's just really a problem. That's not counting the fire escape. I think
We've
that
already
counts
looked through
too.
this paper. We don't need any more leads.
Do we just
Joey.
go?
Uh-huh.
I'm still mad, you know.
Keep it up, doll. I might start to believe you.
That's it for...
Yeah,
That's chatting. Chatting looks like that. Guess I'm just gonna go.
Come on, let's get out of here.
right behind you.
So we haven't done a lot to improve our signaling, to be honest. Well, I respect what we're doing here. It's, please excuse the crudity of the model. She liked this lead, so I guess we'll go here first.
Looks like another bus, Joey.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe not.
We literally
Wait,
just
you hear
showed
that?
up here.
I think so.
Let's get closer.
I can't tell if that's the backing track or something happening diegetically in the world.
Look. Looks like our
Are we on
evening might
Baker
not be a
Street?
total wash after all.
Notebook updated. I appreciate once again the subtlety of the interface of the Blackwell games, don't you? Lauren and Joey have just received their first clue. To use your notebook, click the Notes button on the main interface. Only Lauren can use the notebook, even though both of them got the clue. Spirit of a saxophone player is haunting Roosevelt Island Promenade. I can't combine this with anything. It's one clue. Nice music.
Tune. You write it yourself?
Friendly
Hey,
greet.
mister.
Quick beat him up with ghost punches.
Hey, mister. Yoo-hoo. I'm talking to you. Hello?
He's not hearing you, kid.
It's because the audio mixing is bad. His music is so loud he can't hear the
I'm
dialogue.
Lauren Blackwell. What's your name? What are you doing here? of late to be out, don't you think?
The dead don't keep normal hours, dear.
I think I've forgotten what normal hours are. Ugh, forget it. How am I supposed to do that? He's a ghost. I'm not. It's his saxophone.
Can I stuff like a ghost cabbage in it?
Yes.
This is one of those don't know they're dead spirits, huh?
Yeah, another dead guy that's brain dead. We have to convince him that he's dead. He won't move on otherwise.
Any thoughts on our sax-playing ghost?
No more than you, darling. He likes his music, that's for sure. I doubt we'll get anything useful from him.
That's it for now.
Yeah.
I really do want to take a moment here, and maybe this is better served on the travel screen. The very concept of this feels like just nonsensical to me. Like, in no way does it seem odd to me that under these circumstances where like a ghost is tethered to a person, that they work together and are compelled, whether ethically or metaphysically, to help spirits like move on to the next plane of existence in whatever form that takes, up to and including being eaten by the devil himself. But like, the way this game frames it is truly bizarre to me. It's like, well, I don't got a day job, but like, I'm gonna solve 5 ghost mysteries before I go to bed. Like what? Like, how can you possibly expect, like, it would be one thing for her to be like, I can't go to bed until I've looked into these leads, and we go to those places and we learn we can't do anything right away, and then we like keep going with our lives on day 2. But like, it's so weird to me to be like, yeah, I mean, like, we better like complete a task that we have no agency to ensure we can complete within the next few hours. All right, let's go to the construction site. Post no bills.
This is it.
Yep. All's quiet so far.
Is it bad that I just wanted the same sax playing ghost to show up here, and then when we went back to our apartment to be there, and then when we went back to the main screen he's there, and every time he keeps getting bigger and louder? Is that a type of horror game we've done yet? Is like a game that just convinces you it's not working and then starts like breaking the fourth wall and upsetting you in like a genuine way?
The gate is locked. I can't get through. A thick wooden wall enclosing the construction site.
So what do I have? Cigarettes, lighter, lit cigarette. God, we have a problem. Dictation machine, camera. Am I supposed to record the ghost music? Does that work that way? We didn't have, like, any tools in the last game, so, like, we didn't establish that.
I'll leave that. I don't think. 53rd Street and Lexington Avenue. 53rd Street and... Not many lights on at this hour. Let's talk.
Yeah, doll?
What do you think they're building here, Joey?
Dunno. Another condo, probably. Seems like more and more of those are going up every day.
That's it for now.
Yeah.
Well, good talk. I feel like we've accomplished a lot here. Alright, I'm gonna go back to here and see if I can record... Oh, hang on.
Oh boy, we've got company.
Stuff randomly changed for no reason. That's feeling familiar.
Can you see?
Pardon?
Can't you see?
See what, lady?
The whole of the world. Connections, patterns, pulsing with life everywhere.
Oh, great. One of New York's finest crazies. Do something about this old bat, will ya?
Subtle.
Look, I'm a bit busy right now. I don't have time for this.
Fool! Liar! Can't you see? Useless.
I can't say I like
Useless!
the thought of a random person just screaming useless at me, but I can't really argue it. Well, that was a weird experience.
I don't think he'd want that.
I've taken for granted the fact that I can actually point and click inventory items. This is the first time I've really tried to do it. Apparently I'm not supposed to record the saxophone, which leaves me with precious little idea of what I should be doing.
Say cheese.
Photo added to Lauren's photo album. I've taken 1 of 4 bonus photographs.
I don't need a picture of that. I don't need... That's some view. I can even see the New World Trade Center from here.
That's fairly obnoxious, but I'll allow it. Get it? It's set in the past.
Is that who I think it is?
Oh no.
You only have access to 3 screens, and she's not in your house, so I don't know where you expected her to be.
Do you understand? Do you feel it? Do you see it?
Are you feeling it,
told
Mr.
you I
Krabs?
have no idea what you're talking about.
You will. You will. I'm sorry.
Is she following us?
I don't know.
She kind of creeps me out.
Me too. I wish I could put my finger on why.
Because she's acting overtly creepy and unsettling? I don't think there's much of a mystery there, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
What if I pick the lock with a lit cigarette? What if I make the ghost
No,
smoke?
it's mine.
What if I
A thick wooden...
I got nothing.
This one looks residents. Nobody knows.
This one looks promising, she says, looking at the ghost described in it.
A pack of cigarettes. Should last till the end of the day. It's my lighter. This will probably... This is a little recording device. It's called a dictaphone. I've been using it to record my dreams.
Oh, is that what it's for? Oh, no, hang on.
Testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up.
I feel like she could have just told me that. She literally recorded a tutorial for the device instead of using it for its intended purpose. If we haven't used it at all, she could simply be like, I got this so I can record my dreams, which is, I mean, she literally said that, but then, like, I don't know what the purpose of having, like, a sub-tutorial recording was. Oh, I have another recording. That was just useless.
First entry, February 21st, is it? God, my head. I dreamed tonight. It's already fading away. I saw my mother. She was calling out to me and waving. She was smiling, and her face was bright. So bright. I see a child, 7 or 8 years old. She's surrounded by other children, but she's all alone. I call out to her, but she doesn't hear. Something is wrong. With me? With her? It's fading. I see a man in tattered clothes. He looks at me and screams. I look in a mirror and see a huge horned demon. For some reason, I'm not surprised.
So is the idea that she's having, like, resonations with all the people in her bloodline who are interacting with spirits at various points in history? Because that feels like that describes the end of the first game.
I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge staring at the seaport. I'm alone, strangely at peace. The water, it looks so cool and inviting. Suddenly I'm in the water, floating. I dreamt I was in a strange room. The walls are a deep pink, and there are books and papers everywhere. Joey is behind me, trying to get my attention. I ignore him. I feel strangely good about it. I see Jack and Maria. They're far away, but I know it's them. I see his glasses and her bright red hair. I want to join them. I run to catch up. I almost get there, but I trip and fall. Maria turns to help me up, but it's not Maria. She's got red hair like Maria, but it's someone else. She says she's sorry. Then I wake up.
She says she's sorry. I know she's Canadian. Then I wake up.
I'm in a hospital room. There's a Chinese girl lying on the bed. I want to help her, but she doesn't want to be helped. Suddenly, I say a magic word, and her eyes widen with trust. I've made a friend, and yet I don't want her friendship. I run away.
I don't get what we're doing. Like, I understand the references I'm supposed to understand. I don't think I'm supposed to understand all of them. I think they're either things we'll find later in this game, or maybe they're meant to be foreshadowing to, like, other points in Blackwell history or something. But, like, I don't get what my takeaway from this is supposed to be.
I'm on a fire escape. I'm talking with a man who wants to be my friend. Suddenly, his face turns blue. He can't breathe. He dies. It's my fault. I could have stopped it. I'm in a huge house. I see gas lamps and electric lights. I look into a mirror and see an old woman. She reaches out of the mirror to grab me. I take her hand and hold it tight. Then I wake up.
There's something about the, like, really, like, telegraphed way in which these dreams are being described that, like, feels, like, weirdly insincere. Like, I feel like if you had these, like, intense dreams that you felt like were important, you would give more detail than, like, you know, I saw Jack and Maria and I wanted to catch up to them and I couldn't, and Maria said sorry and I woke up. Like, it just doesn't... It seems like if someone's like, oh, did you have a dream last night? You're like, oh, yeah, like, that happened. Not like, these are important, I must record them. And she, like, gets out the dictaphone and she's like, a man suffocated to death and I woke up. Like, it just doesn't... It doesn't have the right gravitas to be like, these visions are so clear and important. Yeah, it feels like reading a bullet point list of plot development rather than, like, an actual, like, human connection. Yeah. Also, there's, like, a million of them for some reason.
I'm on a train, speeding away into the night. Next to me is a man. I know nothing about him, yet I trust him. I think I love him. Then he disappears. What did I do wrong? I'm trapped somewhere bright. I see my mother, and a woman I don't recognize. I see Joey far away, calling out for me. We're fighting for our lives, but it's too late. The world goes dark. Ugh, I hate that dream.
Got an achievement for listening to all the dreams, which is clearly an indication that that was not important. I don't mean to be indelicate, but the game hasn't given me anything to do yet. Am I insane? I guess I'll listen to a cassette now.
Ahem.
Sorry. Hey, Joey.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on our sax-playing ghost?
no more than you. He likes his music. That I doubt we'll get anything useful.
So, like, we didn't even get a clue from, like, the lady who's been, like, stalking us and saying spooky stuff. Like, that doesn't even go in the journal of, like, useful information.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Like, am I supposed to pixel hunt here? There's no obvious thing to do on this entire screen.
The gate is locked. I can't get through. A thick wooden... Closed, locked, and barred. I'm not getting in this way.
Oh, hang on. I'm forgetting that I can, like, be a ghost. Is that the thing I'm doing wrong?
All right, I'm going in to check it out. Stay close to the wall.
Yeah, sure. Let me know what you find.
Okay, so, like...
Hello? Anyone here? Ah,
Well, what do you see? Is it clean?
I'm afraid not.
Well, hurry up then. I feel stupid pressed up against this wall.
So, I mean, it's one thing to complain that video games hold your hand too much these days, but, like, we've literally never used this game mechanic, and all it said is, like, you can switch to this character. And, like, again, like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a tutorial. Like, this is sort of what I was talking about in the last game a lot, with signaling as, like, a concept, particularly in adventure games, of, like, we reach this construction site and there's nothing to do. Then, like, when we look at the gate or something, instead of just being like, it's a door and it's locked, like, Lauren could be like, well, I'm not getting through. Joey, why don't you do the honors? Or something like that. And then, like, not only does it tell the player what to do, but it actually sounds like an in-world conversation instead of just, like, obligatory video game dialogue. Combining clues. You have 2 clues in your notebook. To combine clues, click clue, then click clue. Norman will attempt to combine them and give you more information. Well, what's weird is in order to do that, I had to switch to not Lauren, and also I don't think those clues are related. The ghost is asking if it left the gas on. Hilarious. My 2 options are pleasant greeting and give up. Why even give me options?
I'll be back. Friggin' spooks.
My home.
I just had to see what would happen if I started the conversation by giving up.
Hey there.
Huh? Could someone be there? Of course not. No one would be so rude as to enter without knocking.
Forceful greeting. Punch her with ghost power.
I said, hey there.
No, no. Nobody there. Door is locked and barred. Nobody could get in.
Just look at me, why don't you? I know you can see me.
No. Visitors must knock or ring the bell. That's the way it's done.
Knock knock?
What? Nobody is there. The door is still closed and bolted.
Hey, lady, I'm talking to you.
No, the door is closed. Nobody is there. Only way in is if I open the door. And to do that, he'd have to knock.
This is like a bizarre way to think even if you assume you're alive.
I'll be...
They want to fight? I'll give them one.
I'm gonna see if I can get in this trailer. Maybe there's a bell in there. I feel like I probably shouldn't be able to get very much further than this.
What do you want me to do? Scare it? There's not much I can do with that except look at it. Let's take a look.
Dear Mr. Foreman, July 23rd, 1973. I was hoping you could help me. I have tried speaking to your boss, but he ignores my calls. The agreement, I believe, was for $230 a month for 5 years. However, since the move, I've only been receiving $225 a month. Can you please send someone with the $60 I'm entitled to? I'd come myself, but it's hard for me to get around these days. Signed, Mrs. Harriet Sherman.
This lady is upset because she's been stiffed $5 a month.
Really classy way of putting that.
My guess is that she's not too happy with the foreman. Harriet Sherman. I have no idea who she is, but any lead is a good lead. This letter was written only a few weeks ago. The name under the picture is Farrah Fawcett. I wonder if she likes dead guys.
Let me look at blueprints.
I can't make heads or tails out of this thing.
Can you make blueprints out of it?
Cheap material. I want nothing to do with it. Just a bunch of drawers.
Can I, like, phase my eyes through cabinets to read stuff? I guess it'd be pitch black.
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
Can I tell her to knock?
I need you to do something.
What?
Knock on the door.
Knock on the gate door.
Knock on the door? Why?
I'll explain later. Just do it.
A knock? Oh my, a visitor. Just a minute. Is my hair okay? It'll have to do.
It's fine.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello.
miss.
Hello? Can I help you?
You are dead. I feel like this series should have an option to start basically every conversation with a ghost by being like, hello, you are dead. Introducing myself first is
I'm
Blake.
Joey Malone, miss.
Well, Mr. Malone, to what do I owe the pleasure?
You're dead.
I'm a bit lost. Can you tell me where I am?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you looking for a specific apartment or...
Apartment? You mean we're inside a building?
Yes? Are you feeling all right, mister?
You're
Clarify.
not in a building, lady.
Okay,
Take
not
a
what I
look
want.
around.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on the 3rd floor. Look, there's the elevator down the hall.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see it. Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Tell her she's
I
dead.
have something to tell you.
Oh?
There's no delicate way to put this. You're dead.
Pardon me?
Dead and buried. You're
Do you
a
like how she
ghost
briefly
haunting
didn't have a
wasteland.
ghostly echo?
You're unbalanced. Tell me what you want before I call the police.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I am Ouija board. Let's see. Census taker, landlord, gas man, neighbor. I don't know if I'm supposed to believe that this woman is the one who was in the letter. That feels like a stretch. I'm not sure why that information is here. But also, it doesn't really seem like any of these would be that. I'm not sure I was paying enough attention to her, like, idle commentary to know which of these would be most useful. I don't feel like I'd get away with landlord. I feel like she would recognize that person. I am a neighbor.
I live next door.
You do? Which room?
4E.
No, you don't. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye.
I have some news for you. Mainly, I can clarify who them is if you don't already know.
I'd like to see you try.
Ole!
This place is filthy.
Those who know that's from Sam and Max. And it answers all your questions. Oh yeah, she did ask about
She
the
looks
gas.
middle-aged, like most ghosts. She doesn't seem to be aware of her surroundings.
Did I leave the gas on?
I'm the
Hey,
gas
kid,
man.
Knock on the gate again.
Another visitor.
Hello, I'm a different guy who looks identical. Hello, I'm Ouija board, which is the name of your gas man.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I'm not going. Who are you?
I'm with the gas company. I was sent to check your apartment for leaks.
Didn't you come this morning?
No.
Yes, you did. You found nothing and you charged me a fortune.
Yes,
That
and I'm
must
back
have
to
been
charge more
someone
money.
else.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
Alright, I genuinely thought that one was gonna
Who
work.
is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye. Trying to get rid of me, will they? This place is filthy. Trying to get rid of me, will
What response?
Hey, kid.
they? Mom? Oh,
What's your name?
excuse me?
Your name?
My name is on the door. If you don't know who I am, then why are you here?
Explain the surroundings.
Not in a building, lady.
What are you talking about?
We're on the ground. We're outside.
You, sir, need glasses. Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
Your name is D? Are you looking for the One Piece?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I am the census taker, so you will tell me your name?
I'm with the Census Bureau, and I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Where's your clipboard?
Excuse me?
I have a really good memory.
Needed a clipboard.
Ah, no. Not anymore. Cutbacks.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you the only way is as goodbye. They want to fight? I'll give
Hey,
them.
kid.
there's not a lot for me to go on, so I'm just gonna exhaust this dialogue tree and see if anything happens.
You again.
I'm not convinced that it will, though.
I'd like to ask.
Look, I'm not. Who are?
Landlord, and then I guess I could try neighbor again using the information of D being on the door. I don't think that's gonna help very much, though.
I was sent by your landlord.
Oh, you were.
Yep, he wanted me to ask you a few questions.
Well, for your information, I don't have a landlord. I own this apartment. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them?
So she
Who
owns
is
apartment
them?
D in some mysterious building.
Is as goodbye.
Hey,
Is there actually any information still to be gained from this?
you're not.
What are you?
We're on the ground. We're outside.
You look at the door. If
I'd like to.
look, I'm not. Who are?
Gasman, she just told us someone else came by before. Landlord, she said she owns the apartment. Census takers, she said you should have a clipboard. What did she say to neighbor?
No, you're not fool.
Who?
I told
Okay.
you the only is as goodbye.
So I think the only things that I know are that she owns the place and it says D on the door. So it says her name and D. Let me go through the gate. And switch
So,
characters.
is it all taking
Not yet.
slacker?
Did those get added to notes? No, they did not.
There's no reason to.
Okay, well, currently I got nothing and no real way to obtain further information despite, I think, correctly deducing the information that I have and the game not noting it, which isn't a great feeling, but I guess I will go talk to the saxophone ghost, except that I, like, literally can't interact with him. Well, no, maybe that's not true, because I didn't switch to what's-his-face before. Small talk.
Oh, nice night, huh?
More small
Hey,
talk?
you got a cigarette? I could sure use one. Hey, do you know where the Guggenheim Museum is? The wife and I have been trying to find it all day.
The wife?
Shh.
Men react to complaining about women. It's a thing.
Hey, Mac, the name's Joey. Ah, the talkative sort, are we? Well, we'll soon sort that out.
Ghost punch. Ghost punch it.
Pay attention, you fat chump. I'm talking.
That's your idea of intimidating?
Quiet, will ya? That's a pretty nice instrument you got there. Mind if I have a look?
Be a shame if something happened to it.
Hey, do you feel restless? Like you've got somewhere to go but don't know where? It means you're dead, Mac. Can you even hear me? I'll be back, pal. Don't you worry.
Well, this has all been very productive, don't you think? This is just so rough. Like, it's not normal to have to work so hard to, like, figure out what the game is about at all. Like, it's just such a strange way to structure things. I just, like, I have nothing to compare this to. It's so odd to me to make an adventure game like this, like, in the 2000s. It's like, if you made a game like this in the 80s, it was still kind of like the Wild West, you know? Like, video games as a whole hadn't really been established with, like, conventions or genre or whatever. But, like, even by the 90s, a lot of these conventions were pretty well set in stone. I mean, you could mess around with them, you could try to innovate, but, like, there's just a certain way things were done, and this game just, like, isn't it at all.
No, it's mine. It's my lighter. Queen Queensboro Bridge. I don't think he'd want that. I'm already smoking.
I should burn my case list.
I don't leave. Let's you and me have.
Yes?
Looks like our night won't be so easy after all.
Disappointed?
Nah. I can't get a read on that lady ghost. She either wants to slap me or bake me cookies.
You could use a good slap.
I'd rather have cookies.
What a bizarre exchange, truly.
So what do you think of our guy?
Him? I don't think he wants to be saved.
Really?
Look at him. He seems peaceful enough. I say we just leave him.
You know we can't do that, sweetheart.
Yeah, I know. I'm just cranky and tired.
Is that right? It's hard to tell with you.
Be quiet.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't leave.
I mean, it's not even necessarily that, like... The observation isn't because I feel like I need the guide, although it starts to feel like to make any progress that may be true. It's more just the fact that, like, it's not a good sign if you need a guide to, like, do the very first thing. Like, we haven't done anything. We've been playing for like an hour and we've accomplished nothing. And I really only take some responsibility for not immediately using the toggle mechanic, which is essentially a wildly different game experience than the first one, with like just almost no prompting. Just like adjacent to no prompting.
I'm going in a...
Yeah. Did I leave
Anywhere
the
else I can go?
I'd like to see them try.
What do you want me to... What do you want? That thing hasn't seen much use in a long time.
I'd like to see them try.
He's not talking about the bulldozer. Incidentally, this also isn't a bulldozer, it's like a front-end loader.
It says Seagram Realty. I guess they're the guys who own this construction outfit. I wonder if she... I can see that spirit pacing back and forth out there. I can see that cheap material. I want nothing to do with it.
No clear reason is given why, but I can't phase through the next door. I assume I'm meant to believe that it's simply too far away from my tethered mortal.
Where else
Hey, wait a minute. Can I
go?
read this? I don't think I actually can.
Hello?
Joey, what are you doing in there?
How's it going on the outside?
Oh, it's a thrill a minute out here, like a day at the circus.
Miss me?
Yeah, sure, like I miss toe fungus.
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Do a little dance.
What? Why?
I'll explain later. Just do it.
Okay. What did that accomplish?
I can't believe you just did that.
I hate you so much.
Where else can I go?
That's the way out of here. Hello?
Joey, what are you doing?
I get her to knock from over here. Does that somehow change the interaction?
I need you to knock on the gate again.
Sure.
No, it doesn't seem like it
Another
does.
visitor.
Did he even play the sound effect that time?
I'd like to ask...
Look, I'm not going. Who are you? Do? No, you're not.
One of who is...
I told the only way is as goodbye. I'd like to see them try.
I don't know what to do.
They have no right. No right. They want to fight? I'll give them one.
Like, I want to be clear. It's not simply that I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what, like, to do. Like, going back to the point of, like, talking about signaling, like, it's common in a game like this to be like, I know what my goal is. I have no idea how to do it. But, like, in this case, like, I mean, I know I want the ghost to go away, but, like, I don't have a vague sense of how to do that. Like, I just, like, literally don't. I guess I need to convince her that I know her address so that she'll know that she's dead? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And the other guy doesn't even talk to me, so he's giving me, like, essentially none information. So, like, all the information I've been given is, like, a confused woman and a vague idea that doesn't make very much sense of how I would resolve her problem and send her to the afterlife. And a dude who literally just wants to play the saxophone, like that extremely old Sesame Street song that no one here other than my mom would possibly understand the reference to. And that's it. I mean, in my possession, I have like a bunch of state-of-the-art technology and cigarettes. And I have none clues. Even though I found things that are clues, the game won't acknowledge them as clues, so I can't do anything with them.
53rd Street and Lexington Avenue.
53rd and Lex. Nobody's getting in this way. Nobody. That looks like a construction site over there. 1,000 little windows. 1,000 little lives. 1,000 little... 1,000... And...
I'm sorry.
I don't need to go up Lexington.
Why is it an option then? Why is there a really tiny hitbox to go up Lexington if that's not important?
Lexington.
The pixel hunt is bad enough, but why does the pixel hunt lead to something that's not useful? This is like having the get some writing done option in the other game where it's like it's just taking up space.
53rd. Lexington Ave stretches up and down as far as the eye can see. I don't need to go up Lexington. I don't need to go up Lexington. I'll leave that. This barrier is blocking traffic. At least we won't be disturbed by passing cars.
It's like 2 in the morning.
A barrier block. Boy, if I could touch it, that would sure be great.
Boy, this is powerfully unproductive. If you have any information you want to impart, Demolition, I am not opposed. I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm literally accomplishing nothing. It's actually kind of infuriating.
That looks like a
Like honest to God, like what, like where else would I even go? Like what could I possibly do that I haven't done already? I genuinely feel like I've exhausted every conceivable option in the game. Am I supposed to take more random junk from my house? Oh, I had to go home and get a phone call that I had no prompting for. So good. Very good video game.
Lauren, it's Jack. Lauren, I know you're there. I'm your brother, for God's sake, talk to me.
Did that do something? That didn't seem productive either.
We've already looked through this paper. We don't need...
Look up. Oh God. What was that lady's name? What was her name? I can't leave this screen. Gretchen. What was her name? Hold on. I don't know why I'd expect this to work.
Let's get out of here.
right.
Go to the construction site. Become ghost. No, I hit tab. Become ghost.
I'm going in.
Yeah.
Become trailer.
Let's take...
This is why it'd be great for this to be listed in my clues, is so that I don't have to backtrack 4 screens. Like, why even give me the notebook? Harriet Sherman. Sherman. You make it so difficult to get anywhere. Backtracking is so much worse when you have to like toggle between characters like multiple times to like do anything. Harriet Sherman. No, not couch. I swear to God.
There's a phone number, but no address.
Okay, call it
That's my
then.
phone.
I like literally don't even know how this woman is connected to anything.
Is this Harriet Sherman?
Who is this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell.
What do you want?
This is definitely a real person and not a cartoon character.
I'm calling from Seagram Realty.
Oh, why didn't you
Oh!
You've got my $60.
Yes, I do. But before I give it to you, I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Fine. Come on by and I'll answer whatever you want. 24 Rector, down in Battery Park City. Just buzz up.
So, Joey,
Yeah?
got any spare cash on you?
Sorry, left my wallet in my other pants. Probably the pair I was buried in.
Skull joke? We have the rainy day jar that had like exactly $60 in it or something.
Things I'll do for a case. Come on, let's get...
Right?
Like, here's what bothers me about this, right? Not only that was like needlessly difficult to do, but also like at this moment in time, I don't actually have any idea how she's connected to anything. There's a ghost at that construction site. I don't have any reason to think that she's connected to the construction company. And that being the case, I don't know why going to talk to someone who's owed money by the construction company would help me learn anything about the ghost. That could be true, but I haven't learned anything that makes that connection apparent. So like, I don't know why it's like 2 a.m. I call up this woman out of the blue and I'm like, yeah, I'm from the company that owes you $60. I'm going to come by at 2 a.m. and just hand you $60 in cash and like ask you some weird questions. And like, you should just be awake and like not think that's weird at all. I just don't understand. Like, the person who wrote this is not a human. They're like a space alien. I don't get it.
It's open. I'm back here in the kitchen.
Harriet?
Mrs. Sherman, if you don't mind. You from Seagram Realty?
Yes.
Have you got my money?
I wanted to ask you a few questions first.
You're welcome to ask me anything you'd like. After you give me the money. You've
That's
got
not how
it.
this arrangement
sure
works.
do.
I'll fight
It's
you, old
about
lady.
time. Give it here.
God, they'll really let you walk here without the money,
It's
won't
all
they?
here.
That's
Sure
what that
enough.
exchange
I'd
is.
say thanks if I hadn't had to fight tooth and nail to get it.
What teeth, you old bat?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I won't now. You wanted to ask
Don't
me
worry, I
something?
won't. Let me go ahead and ask you about the ghost of the construction site.
What can you tell me about the construction site on 53rd Street?
You've been
That's not
there?
the clue that I
How's
have.
the old place looking?
It's a big hole in the ground.
Ha! Can only be an improvement. I used to
Zing.
live there. Then Seagram Realty bought it and tore it down. Going to build something new and fancy, no doubt.
That sure wasn't helpful.
Have you ever been to Roosevelt Island?
I hardly ever leave this room, so no.
Big mood. Wow, I'm so glad I spent $60 for that information.
So tell me about yourself.
Me? What do you want to know?
Your name came up during an investigation I'm working on.
Investigation? Don't you work for Seagram Realty?
Not
Whatever you want to believe, sweetie.
Ah, you just use them as a way to get to me, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Oh, not at all. Just don't expect your money back.
She's all heart.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Don't mention.
I'm gonna rummage around. Oh, no, I can't steal. There's like some prominently displayed items that I think I'm supposed to steal, but I literally just walked into that woman's house, gave her $60, asked her about something I basically have no information about, and now we're here. Like, that was like the worst progress I can remember in a game in some time. Hey, Neko, welcome to the stream. Probably not going too much longer, mostly because I don't know what to do. How are you doing? I don't know what to do. No, like for real. Like what can I do that I haven't already done?
I don't think so.
I don't don't think there was an opportunity to switch to Joey, but also that lady's made of meat, and so I don't think a ghost conversation would help.
Ugh, forget it.
I'll be back.
You know, they say that you should start like a story, like a movie script or a play or a novel, like with action to sort of draw people in right away. And sometimes I feel like people overstate the importance of that. And then sometimes I play a game like this and I'm like, you're giving me nothing here. You're killing me. The only thing you can hope is now Joey can pretend to be Sherman. I mean, I can't imagine why that would have changed, but you're right. We might as well try. I mean, we just, like, didn't gain any actionable information. We just learned that, like, this place used to not belong to them, which is presumably true at some point.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think she's gonna fall for us? Oh my god, it's so annoying that they pace when you have to click on them to interact.
No.
My. Oh.
I'm Harriet Sherman.
I'd like to ask.
Look, I'm not going. Who are you?
I live next door.
You do? Which room?
4E.
No, you don't.
So, like, again, like, apartment number seems like a thing I should be able to ask Harriet about, so it should be like a clue in my notebook so that I can use that as a dialogue tree option and then come back here and have that information, like, do something with it. Like, this game is just structured like nonsense. Like, I don't get it.
I'd like to see them try.
We learned she lived there in the past. Yeah, but, like, I can't ask her about it. I mean, I'm gonna try again, but, like, there wasn't anything to talk about.
It's all.
Mrs.
Hello, you got me.
Yes.
Well, I ain't.
Like, so immediately my only options are leave or open notebook. And I already asked her about both of these. Saxophone Ghost and Lady
They
Ghost.
kicked you out of your own home?
No big loss. The place was a dump. Plus, they wanted it so badly that they paid most of us a monthly stipend just to leave. Pretty
God.
generous, actually. I can almost forgive them for nearly robbing me.
So, without any explanation and deviating completely from the way the previous game worked and the entire purpose of the notebook system established by the first game, now I'm meant to click on dialogue options in the notebook multiple times to make progress. That simply isn't how that was done, and the game doesn't tell me that's changed. Why would I think that's true? And why would I think that's true if this is the first game in the series that I've played? Being episodic, technically that should be possible.
So they paid you money to leave.
Yep. Like I said, it was a pretty generous deal. Building was about to be condemned anyway, so everyone was grateful for the offer.
Except...
Everyone except for Mavis Wilcox.
Oh, finally! Information I should have been given, like, a long time ago.
Who is Mavis Wilcox?
A lunatic is what she was. She lived down the hall from me, so I know how crazy she was.
Why was she crazy?
She refused to leave is why. Seagram was offering her a fortune, but still she refused.
Why did Mavis refuse to leave?
She was a lunatic. I believe I already established this. A total shut-in. The prospect of leaving her little apartment.
A total shut-in, says the woman who says she doesn't leave her apartment.
Feeble. If I could manage the move, she could have. Of course, it doesn't matter now.
Because she's
Did you
dead.
ever get Mavis to leave?
Oh, you could say that. Yes, you could definitely say
You could
that.
definitely say
Left
that.
all right. Left the entire world, in fact.
You mean she died?
Yes. Someone went in and
Yes.
choked her to death. Right in the apartment she loved so much. I'd call it ironic if it weren't so tragic.
Did they ever find out who killed Mavis?
No. Some street kid, most likely.
Very
Thought
progressive.
The building was empty and went in to steal whatever was left over. Didn't count on anyone being there. Bumped into Mavis, then had to kill her. Happens
Well,
all
she
the
had to do it.
How well did you know Mavis?
Like I said, I lived just down the hall from her, on the 3rd floor. I didn't know her well, but she did get some mail just before they smashed the place up. I took it, just in case a relative or something came looking. But it's been 6 months, and nothing.
Give me that.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
Just that she lived on the 3rd floor with me. There's nothing else.
So all of this was to say, when we go back to the construction site, instead of him blindly guessing 4E, he'll now guess 3E, and suddenly she'll be like, oh, okay, obviously you're my neighbor.
Can you tell me anything else about your old building?
Good riddance is what I say. I lived on the 3rd floor. Everyone on the street could see me. I like my new place much better.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
Just that there's...
Really fixate on that whole 3rd floor thing.
Do you still have Mavis's things?
Yes, I do. Such as they are. There wasn't much. Just that envelope on the counter.
Could
Yeah, can I have it?
You knew Mavis?
Yeah, I'm her daughter or
Yes.
something.
Well, you might as well take a look at them. Nobody else has come looking.
Thanks.
Quick run. Now, I asked if I could look at it, and I've now taken possession of it. That's not quite correct, but I'm gonna leave now.
Don't mention it.
Okay, hang on. I assume there's something I want to know in here.
Just a photograph and a letter.
October 18th, 1972. Mrs. Wilcox, thank you for agreeing to speak with me the other day. As promised, I'm returning the photograph you lent me. Weird time for that pop-up. All the best,
That's
Jay
her.
Mitchell.
That's the ghost at the construction site.
So our ghost's name is Mavis Wilcox.
I'd bet the farm on it. That's her.
He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt.
She's old, she can't stop you. I'm just saying that, like,
I'm
if
going
it's...
in again.
If she
No.
wants to give us the letter, that's
Yeah.
fine, but, like, I feel like the thing we should do is ask her if we can take it, not look at it. Saying that we want to look at it implies we don't intend to just steal it. Which we do, and we did, and she didn't seem to care anyway, but I just feel like we should just say that we're gonna do it if she's not gonna care anyway.
Hey, kid.
My. Oh.
Hello, apartment 3E, I love you.
Look, I'm not. Who are
Oh, now I can say husband or son, which is wild. Just for my own curiosity, I feel like I need to exhaust the neighbor option, because we spent so much time with the old lady talking about the 3rd floor. It's like her Thanksgiving.
you? Do? Which room?
How are you still wrong?
No, you don't. You're not
How are you still
told
wrong?
Is that goodbye?
It's just depressing.
Hey, kid.
Ma. Oh.
I'd like to.
Look, I'm not. Who are
I'm your son,
Me.
Mr.
son.
Burns.
Sam?
Yep, that's me.
Sam, it's been so long. Look at you.
I love
Yeah,
how
look at me.
incredulous she was about all these plausible lies, and we're like, I'm literally your son, and she's like, fine.
Sam, I'll make you dinner.
No, I can only stay for a minute. I have some questions I need to ask you.
Of course, Sam.
Did you know that you're dead?
So, Mom, how's it going?
Oh, you know me, Sam. It's tough living here on my own, but I get by.
Yeah, I can see that. Listen, Mom, I need you to think very carefully. What's the last thing you remember?
What do you mean? Answering the door and seeing you, of course.
And before that?
Nothing. You know nobody comes here.
I
except
cease to
when
exist when company isn't around.
And that...
That who?
Nobody.
So, Mom, how are my brothers and or sisters?
That's not funny, Sam. You know you're an only child.
No, that's very
Wait,
funny. I like that a lot. just in case I came here from an alternate timeline or time traveled or something like that, tell me how many siblings I have and their names and other important details I may need to reference.
How's Dad, Mom?
Oh, Sam.
Super
You know
dead?
that your father is dead?
Nah, I forget
5
sometimes.
years ago.
Ah, right.
Wait.
Sorry.
Who was John Durkin? That was the name in the other game. Who's John Durkin? Man named Mitchell from the New Yorker was in touch with Miss Mavis. Where did we get that information? Oh, the letter? Sure. Okay. And clock the New Yorker from that for some reason. More questions. Oh, interesting. It switched to the notebook all of a sudden. That wasn't the interface we're using, and now it just is.
Have you
New
been
Yorker.
talking to a reporter from the New Yorker?
Yes, such a nice man. He came over and talked to me for a
Did
bit.
he strangle you to death?
He listened to me.
What did you talk about?
Oh, this and that.
I told him
Don't
how
know
much
why
I like
I'm
to
so
breathe.
interested.
So, tell me more about yourself, Mom.
Sam, since when did you become so interested?
Just trying to get to know
Since you
better.
died. You're dead.
Isn't
You're a
that
ghost.
sweet?
Pass on.
But I honestly don't know what to tell you.
Do you know anything about a ghost on Roosevelt Island?
A ghost? Sam,
My name is
silly.
Ouija board.
Do you know a guy named John
Do
Durkin?
you know a guy
Joke,
named
Sam?
John
You
Durkin?
know he's been dead
Who's
for 10
writing
years.
these questions?
Sorry.
How can you
Slipped my mind.
slip your mind?
Just, look, forget it.
I mean, I would say that the best part of this game so far is how extremely bad this ghost is about lying at anything. It is probably going to make our lives
I'm going to
considerably
go now.
more
Come
difficult.
back.
Sure, Sam. I'll be. This place
Much-
is filthy.
Much like in the first game when, like, we had to, like, combine the concept of a unisex name with a name to be able to lie about having that name as a woman. It was, like, super weird. Alright, go through the gate.
You were gone?
Become Lauren. Look at notes.
Maybe there's a connection, but... No.
I don't think the New Yorker connects to anything right now. Sam and John?
If John Durkin was Sam's father, it's only logical that Sam's last name would be Durkin.
Oh, now we're gonna check the stupid phone book. We don't have to ask the same notebook question after asking previously about it, but we get really funny answers if we do, so I'm glad that we did. Where we, like, ask our mom, like, hey, do you know a guy by the name of our dad? And she's just like, I literally don't know how to respond to that. Are you okay? Are you fine? Hey, Crit Twitch, welcome to the stream. Let's look up a guy named Sam Durkin.
There's no listing. I thought for
Also
sure that
dead.
would work.
Great. Well, dead end again. Perfect. How do I find... The letter doesn't have the guy's last name, does it? J. Mitchell. Look up all the J. Mitchells in the phone book.
There's no entry for that.
I spelled with the wrong number of L's. I don't assume this will work. J. Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
John Durkin, who's
There's
dead.
no entry for that.
Ouija board.
There's no entry for that.
Interesting. Oh, we had that thought at the same time there, Neko. Where'd my cursor go? Here we go. Boy, it would be neat to make some progress, don't you think? Don't you think that would be neat?
This kid doesn't look too happy to be with Mavis.
Do you think Sam is transgender in the 70s and changed their name?
Let's talk shit.
Yeah.
Family relationships are tricky things.
It gets even trickier when the dead are involved.
Typically, I think it gets easier in a way. At least with that particular relation. The living relations can become more complicated.
Family relationships are tricky things.
It gets...
Oh, both of them say the same thing. That's
Was that the
fun.
New Yorker back in your day?
I have no idea.
I like to think that that's just the writer of this game indicating that they didn't bother to research that.
Any thoughts on our construction site, Ghost?
Her? She's not bad looking in a motherly kind of way.
Any thoughts
Same
on
as
how
already a
safe
unisex name.
springs to
True,
mind.
but like sometimes when like trans people decide to like change their identity, they like having an entirely fresh name that they feel like expresses them. Like just because you could use your name doesn't mean you do. I can understand why you would, because then you don't have to do like a legal name change necessarily. You could just sort of go by Sam, for example. But I feel like that's generally uncommon.
Any thoughts?
No more than you do. He likes it. I doubt...
Any thoughts on our construction site, Ghost?
Her? She's not...
Any thought?
Nothing springs...
That's it for now.
Yeah.
What do I do with any of the information I have? I got a photo. Maybe I could show the other old lady this photo?
Come on, let's get
Right behind...
I don't feel like that makes very much sense. Maybe we could at least ask about Sam.
It's open!
Fake ding dong.
Mrs.
Hello, you got more questions?
Yes.
Well, I
I
ain't...
paid you $60. I'm gonna keep you up all night with questions.
Do you know anything about this picture?
I don't know the boy, but that was Mavis's living room. If Mavis had a son, I never saw him.
Well, that's gonna be a problem. Do you know John Durkin?
Do you know a John Durkin?
No, never heard of him.
Do you know a guy named My Dad?
Do you know any reporters from the New Yorker magazine?
Reporters? No.
More Mavis questions?
Anything else?
Just this?
She really loves that third
Do you know
floor.
any?
No.
Do you know?
No.
Goodbye.
Yeah, we
Miss
didn't make very
Butler.
much progress here. Does she know John Durkin? John Duncan? Nah, I don't think so. Maybe we could ask the saxophone playing ghost if he knows John Durkin. Who I swear that name is in the last game. I thought he was like a lawyer. Wasn't he? But like, wasn't he like alive in the letters or something? I don't know. Here, become ghost. I can't imagine this man knows anything about the other ghost family. It's weird that I can do these simultaneously. This doesn't feel like it's that kind of game. It like barely knows how to like use a dialogue tree. Boy, I gotta tell you, it feels like we hit a dead end really, really fast. We accomplished almost nothing, but technically made progress and made like no actual progress.
I'm going in again.
Yeah.
And I'm really on the verge of just like wrapping up the stream, but we've like done nothing. Anyone have any ideas?
This place is filthy.
God, it's so annoying that they like roam back and forth when like you have to click on them to like
Hey,
start
kid,
conversations.
Knock on the gate.
My. Oh,
Hi, Mom.
Hey, where do you think we are?
Mom, look around carefully. Are you sure that you're at home?
you're so confusing, Sam.
Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
Is knowing that her apartment is 3D useful in some way? It doesn't feel like it is, but am I overlooking something? Because we know it's the third floor, and we know it's apartment D. Yeah, maybe we just keep trying to ask about the reporter. If we get a first name, we can look him up in the phone book, but...
Have you been talking to...
Yes, such a nice. He came over and talked to me for a bit. I liked him. He listened to me.
What did you talk about?
Oh, this and that. Don't know why he was
This
so
is all
interested.
repeat, though, isn't it? Do you know me?
So what can you tell me about me?
You're so confusing, Sam.
Never mind. Have you been...
Yeah, he came. I like.
What did you...
Oh, don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't look like there's more to do there. Can I talk more about location, or is that also a loop?
Are you...
Look at.
Also a loop. What good is 3D? I don't feel like I have an index or a reference of some kind that is useful for that.
I'm going to... I'll come...
Sure, I'll be
Okay, become mortal.
my
Hello?
home.
Why is this not working? Oh, because this game isn't powerful enough to toggle different locations at the same time. So I have to leave this place before I can become mortal. I can't look up the reporter because I don't have his first name. I tried looking up Mitchell and J. Mitchell. I think you need a first and last name to look up someone in this game. I could be wrong about this, but I feel as though I've given a good faith effort to do that search and it is not possible.
No.
I do have to say that the notebook mechanic and search function feels like a huge downgrade when fake Google doesn't exist.
This kid does.
New Yorker, New York, New York. It sounds like someone's having like an episode. I mean, I could just try to guess J names. I don't know if this game works that way. Some video games from this era will like not let the correct solution to certain things work until you've like unlocked that solution by doing the thing they wanted. I haven't tried connecting something in a minute.
I don't see what one has to do with the other.
Really think it connects to... I mean, unless the reporter is her husband.
I don't
Would
see how
then
those
he'd
two
have two
things are
different
linked.
last names?
There's no. Maybe there's a. I think I'll keep it as Sam Durkin for now. Mavis was married to John Durkin. Now John Durkin is dead. Why did Mavis change her last name? Maybe she was divorced.
I mean... Doesn't seem like that even updated the notebook, that possible theory.
Hey Joey.
Uh-huh.
Family relationship.
It gets...
God, these are such unhelpful clues. See, again, like, the mechanic that allows you to, like, talk to a companion in these games is meant to serve a specific purpose. That, like, when you're a little stuck, it can sort of nudge you in the right direction. When you ask about, like, half of the characters you interacted with in the game, and she's just like, boy, relationships suck. Like, that's not clues, that's nothing. You're wasting precious money and air by having people record this
That's
dialogue.
it for now.
Yeah, well,
It's my phone.
John Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Jim Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
James Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Jack Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
More J names. More J names, chat. What if you try Mavis with her old surname in the computer? Impossible, Neko. I know you joined us late, but we're back in time. It's like 1973 or something. Jean-Luc's a bit of a stretch, but I'll give it a shot.
Can't do anything with that.
Jill Mitchell? I suppose that's true. We don't actually know. No, wait. She said it was a man, didn't she? I'm not making that assumption. We asked if she talked to a reporter, and she said that he was nice, right? Am I wrong? I think that's true. Did I become Ghost? I accidentally became Ghost at some point. Look up John Duke Mitchell.
There's no entry for that. It's my phone book.
Jose Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Jorge Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Jacob. Jacob Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Which of course brings us back to Jason Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Disappointing.
Jason!
I did try Jason, but I appreciate that nonetheless. Yeah, I don't think we did Joe or Joseph. Joseph Mitchell?
There are about a dozen Joseph Mitchells in New York. I'm not going to find him this way.
Joe Mitchell.
There are about a dozen Joseph Mitchell. I'm not going to...
Okay, we're grouping those together, and it seems like that's probably the correct answer, and this is the game's way of telling us that it's not going to let us do that.
It's my phone book.
Let me just try John Jacob Jingleheimer. No, that's not it. Okay. Sure. I don't think that makes any sense, but Sean Mitchell.
There's no entry for that.
Let me try Origami Pillar.
There's no entry for that.
No, there's no entry for that. Turns out there's no entry for that. Well, I honest to God have no idea what the game wants from me, like, at all. This truly is one of the most obtuse adventure games I've ever played. And that's really saying something. I've played some real humdingers, some real goofy whiz bangers. I don't know where my head's at, but like I played some games that like were very frustrating to complete puzzles. But like this game doesn't even like present puzzles. I mean, I feel somewhat confident that Joseph is the correct answer because normally every other thing I've looked up has said like there's no entry for that. Which, if you think about it, is completely unhinged, considering that it's New York by the 70s, and there's, like, a huge quantity of people, like, living in New York City. So the fact that there would be, like, no Jack Mitchell in 1979 in New York City is just, like, absolute nonsense. I know, I thought for sure John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt was it. Really thought I was onto something with that one. Maybe we missed something in the office. I don't know, I've been in the office like 3 times. It feels like the only things I can interact with are the Farrah Fawcett calendar and the letter that let us spend $60 to ask some questions about the 3rd floor of a building that doesn't exist anymore. I tried looking up the paper the reporter works for. I mean, it's 2 in the morning, but you know what? I'll give you that one. Technically, you should probably be able to look up The New Yorker, but I imagine it's going to give me some snarky response.
Yep, there's a listing for The New Yorker. Their main office is in Midtown.
Can I call them?
Thank you for calling The New Yorker. How can I help you?
Hello.
It's 2 in the
I'm trying to
morning!
reach a reporter named Mitchell.
Let's see now. Mitchell. We have a
Might want to
toast for the
clarify.
Is that him?
I guess it's worth a try. Is he in?
Yes, he is. Hold, please.
How is he in? It's completely night out.
He's not answering. Maybe I should go up there in person.
Why would he be in the office? It's like 2 in the morning. This game doesn't make any sense.
Come on, let's get out.
Right.
His work-life balance in America is atrocious. Look, stop being right about everything, Neko. Can I save on this menu? I can't. I really wanted to do that. Okay, we'll just save here in home then. Didn't I save a game? Why is there not a saved game here? I swear I saved once in this game and it's just not there. Anyway, at least we have some direction for next week. This game is rough. This is a rough game. He has some sort of scope and is working extreme overtime to finish an arc. I have no idea. But, like, we can all agree that, like, it's not pictured as, like, dusk where maybe he's, like, on his way out of the office. It's, like, clearly night. Like, it's late enough at night that ghosts are out and stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing in this game has made any sense so far. And it honestly has, like, a similar problem to the first one where, like, there's no actual, like, organic impetus for you to investigate the case of, like, Joanne What's-Her-Face and her 2 friends. Like, literally, a guy just calls you and tells you to do it. Like, whether or not you like the overarching story of these games, the storytelling is pretty bad. Again, I don't know if it gets better. This genuinely feels worse of a game to me, despite, like, adding new tools and things that feel like they should make it, like, a fresh, fun experience. They've gone out of their way to make everything pretty inaccessible. I don't know. I feel like I want to finish this out of spite, if nothing else, but, like, it's just, I mean, the first one's almost, like, barely an adventure game because you, like, don't get an inventory and the puzzles are nonsense. And then, like, this is, I don't even know how to describe this. It's interesting, but, like, boy, there's so many details that are just, like, wrong. Like, why can I call these people at, like, 2 in the morning? That'd be like me trying to call, like, a radio station right now for work and them just, like, picking up and, like, having a conversation with me and not even acknowledging the fact that, like, it's completely insane for me to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Let's see if y'all can find Secret Squirtle. We got some stuff going on behind me. You know the drill. All you have been here before. To round out the stream, I offer you an opportunity to locate a secret Squirtle. If you're able to locate a Squirtle hidden in this fashion, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So, you know, consider this menagerie of friends behind me and see if you can find a Squirtle. Because, yeah, we could all use good luck. I know I can. I don't work for a newspaper, and I'm not working. It's only $12.50, and this isn't part of that same job. Yeah, it's been kind of a slow night, and part of that is probably because of the massive technical issues, which I was having a lot of fun with. If you weren't here for the end of the Blackwell Legacy. All right, we got some Vulpix guesses. We got a Eevee guess. Let's check it out. I'm going to start with the one that will take the most effort. In-game, you write book reviews. Now, we're on a whole separate game. I think we are an unemployed woman. Do we have a job? Does Lauren have a job? Do we know? Hurry. Oh, we got I see. We got this Eevee. Over here, we got Ceratops, the Triceratops, making her first debut. Just because I already picked it up. There is a Squirtle back there behind our other Eevee, who was not wearing a pirate hat, but was instead wearing a small narwhal as a hat. And we got Vulpix over here concealing a little tiny seasonal friend. It's been a minute since we've had our little jack-o'-lantern Snoopy. Is there a Squirtle behind Brown Bear? It's funny you should ask. Well, that wasn't intentional. But yes. Yes, there is. You're not the same boring lady. You're an entirely new boring lady. Yes, now you understand. That is correct. We are, in fact, that boring lady's boring grandmother who hasn't been committed to a psychiatric hospital yet and instead is, like, harassing elderly women at 2 a.m. to ask them about dead people that they barely knew years ago, I think. I don't know how long it's been since Mavis What's-Her-Face passed. But next week we will revisit Blackwell Unbound and see if we can cap off this story by learning the secret of John Jacob Jingleheimer Mitchell. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves and remember that you are Klossa.